Welcome back to Soilsage Chronicles, where we slow down, observe, and learn directly from the soil beneath our feet. One of the biggest shifts I've experienced as a gardener is realizing that plants are constantly communicating. Every pale leaf, every stalled tomato, every burst of green growth is a message. When we stop guessing and start listening, gardening becomes simpler, cheaper, and far more rewarding. This article is about learning that language, not through lab tests or complicated charts, but through real observation and practical responses you can use in your own garden. Whether you're just starting out or you've been growing for years, understanding what your plants are telling you will change how you care for your soil forever. Plants don't suffer in silence, they respond directly to what's happening underground. If nutrients are present but locked up, growth slows. If biology is active, plants thrive even in modest soils. This is why two gardens with the same fertilizer can perform completely differently. When leaves turn light green or yellow, many gardeners rush to add nitrogen, but often the issue isn't absence, it's availability. Compacted soil, poor microbial activity, or waterlogged roots prevent plants from accessing what's already there. The plant is telling you, I can't eat, not, there's no food. Dark green, overly soft growth is another signal often misunderstood. It looks healthy at first, but weak stems and delayed flowering tell a deeper story. Excess nitrogen without balance. Plants grow leaves instead of fruits because the soil is pushing vegetative signals too hard. Once you begin seeing growth patterns as feedback instead of problems, your role shifts from fixer to interpreter. Healthy soil is alive. Bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and earthworms form a living network that turns minerals into plant-available nutrients. Without this network, even fertile soil behaves like dirt. When soil biology is weak, plants show stress even when they're watered and fertilized. Growth just kind of stalls, leaves start to curl, and honestly, their resilience just disappears. On the other hand, when biology is active, plants can tolerate heat, pests, and even those minor nutrient imbalances far better. This is why, biological inputs like compost teas, plant-based ferments, and mulches are so powerful. They don't actually feed the plant directly. What they really do is restore the conversation between soil and root. At Soilsage Chronicles, this is a core principle: feed the soil, and the soil will feed the plant. A lot of gardeners tend to focus just on the color of the leaves, but honestly, the context is just as important. Pale leaves showing up on new growth, well, that means something quite different compared to pale leaves on older growth. If you notice yellowing that starts at the bottom of the plant, it often points to mobile nutrients, like nitrogen, being redirected upward. On the other hand, yellowing at the top usually suggests issues with immobile nutrients, or maybe even root stress. Now, if your leaves are green but just look kind of dull and lifeless, soil oxygen might be the culprit. This is something I see a lot, especially in compacted beds or containers that don't drain well. Roots, believe it or not, need air just as much as they need water, and your plants will definitely let you know when they're starting to suffocate. Spotted or blotchy leaves aren't always a sign of disease, even though it's easy to jump to that conclusion. More often than not, these are signs of uneven nutrient uptake, which can be caused by inconsistent watering or maybe a microbial imbalance in the soil. So before you go reaching for sprays, take a good look at your soil structure and your watering patterns. Fast growth isn't always good, and slow growth isn't always bad. Healthy growth is steady, resilient, and proportional. When plants grow too fast, they're often responding to excess soluble nutrients. This usually leads to weak cell walls, more pests, and honestly, poor long-term productivity. Slow, compact growth with deep color usually indicates balanced soil and strong root systems. These plants may take longer to flower, but they produce better quality harvests. If your plants stall completely, especially during warm weather, it's often a biological bottleneck. The soil food web has slowed down. This is where gentle biological stimulants, rather than stronger fertilizers, make the biggest difference. One of the most effective tools I use to, ask questions of my soil is plant-based ferments like FPJ, or fermented plant juice. These extracts carry plant hormones and simple sugars that stimulate microbial activity and signal specific growth responses. Leafy plant ferments tend to encourage vegetative growth. Fruiting or stem-based ferments often support flowering and reproductive stages. When applied correctly and, diluted properly, they act like a gentle nudge rather than a forceful push. What's powerful here is observation. Apply a leafy FPJ to one bed and a fruit-based FPJ to another, keeping everything else the same. The plants will show you what your soil is ready to support. Strong leafy response but weak flowering tells you the soil still needs balance. Improved flowering without excessive leaf growth signals readiness. How water moves through your soil is honestly one of the clearest indicators of soil health. If water pools on the surface, roots are likely struggling below, but if water disappears instantly and plants wilt quickly, organic matter may be just way too low. Adding organic matter, maintaining mulch, and minimizing disturbance all improve this water conversation, and over time, plants stop panicking, and they really show it. Weeds often get blamed, but they're actually indicators. Certain weeds thrive in compacted soil, others in nitrogen-rich conditions, and others in disturbed ground. When the same weeds appear year after year, they're telling you exactly what the soil environment favors. As you gain experience, you'll notice that successful gardeners intervene less, not more. They watch patterns over weeks instead of reacting daily. They understand that soil change takes time, and that plants need consistency more than intensity. Your soil is constantly speaking through your plants. Every leaf, stem, and harvest is part of an ongoing conversation. When you learn to listen, you stop wasting inputs and start building systems that improve year after year. If this article helped you see your garden differently, that's exactly the goal. Gardening isn't about control, it's about cooperation. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more practical, experience-based insights like this, subscribe to Soilsage Chronicles, share this article with a fellow gardener, and keep growing with intention. The soil has more to teach us. Let's keep listening together.